Hello everyone, this is H to the Husky here, and I'm going to be casting a 1 versus 1 between the little one, who is going to be spawning up here in the top right side, and he is going to be going against Nada, the blue Terran, in the bottom left side. Now, I want to say really quick, actually there's a bunch of stuff I gotta say, so I will talk as quickly as possible. Number 1, Nada is a legend as well, just like Boxer. He is a huge name in StarCraft 1. He has been around forever. I was able to watch him play at BlizzCon, and he plays at, like, I don't know if he plays the same way in StarCraft 2 as he did in StarCraft 1, but he is known in StarCraft 1 for having like a consistent 300 to 400 APM. He's just known for having really, really high APM, which isn't really, that doesn't mean that much, but to watch him play, it is vomit-inducing. Then again, everything to me is vomit-inducing because I can't even skydive without throwing up. But regardless, it is very fun to watch him play. He is a super, super popular StarCraft 1 player. He's been around forever. There are a lot of Nada fans out there. Even actually at last BlizzCon, I had a sign. Are you guys ready for this punchline? I had a sign that I made for Nada because he was playing there at that tournament. And the sign said, "Nada chance he'll lose." Oh, I'm just so witty like that. I just pop out witty remarks like that. And anyways, regardless of that terrible humor, also, I know I've been casting a lot of TvTs, but one thing about StarCraft is a lot of the most popular players happen to be Terran, and the little one is no exception there. So there are a lot of TvT games I'm going to cast, but I'm casting them because of the players involved. They're players that I've known for a long time, that I've seen play, that I've followed for a really long time. So it's really, really cool to see them actually playing StarCraft 2, and just got to check his APM again. Yeah, look at you, Nada, you cute little devil, you. And so, yeah, there is going to be a couple more TvTs on my channel, but whatever. I just like watching these players, especially since they've been around for so long and blah, blah, blah. There's something else I was going to say, but I totally forgot. I still have another treat that is going to involve the little one after this. So I hope you guys aren't the little one out. But me and him are actually friends, and so well, I don't know if he would call me a friend. I call him a friend. And so I love casting Little One games. He is a great guy. I look forward to meeting him at BlizzCon for sure. Maybe doing like an interview or something with him. Would be amazing. And so what do we got going on here? We do have a factory on the way for the little one, very standard there, and a reactor on the way for Nada. He actually has not begun his factory. He should be starting in here fairly soon, as he does have that 100 gas. And is that a factory? Yes, it is the factory on the way right now, just a little bit behind the little ones, but he was able to get that reactor out, which reactors, of course they cost, 50 minerals, 50 gas, but they also take a while to build, a very, very long while actually. So he will have that ready. Gonna be getting out a couple extra Marines here, and you just use those Marines. A lot of times you'll see Terrans use those Marines for doing an early push, but in TvT you really want to usually get 3 or 4 Marines, because one push that your opponent can do is getting out a handful of Marines, so say 5 or 6, and then getting out a Hellion, and then you push out right then. And a lot of people might be like, well, why is that effective, blah, blah. Well, if your opponent is teching 2 siege tanks, then they actually are going to have a disadvantage, plus that Hellion is pretty robust in the early stages of the game. Now, we are seeing a tech lab here from Nada, and he is continuing to produce a lot of Marines, actually, as he does have 2 more queued up there, and he already has 5 right now. So the little one is definitely going to have to be prepared for this. He's getting an armory very, very quickly, possibly going to be getting an early Thor. We've seen him do that against Boxer, actually, in that very last game, and it did actually pay off. Now, he doesn't have as many Hellions as he did last time, but he is continuing to produce them. The little one really loves Hellions in TvT. It's actually a really unique playstyle that I haven't seen from too many other players. A 3rd Hellion now being produced, while Nada is going the more standard siege tank tech, and does have the siege tank on the way as well. Which this is so interesting to me. I'm amazed by the different playstyles, because we've seen Boxer play and he always gets siege tanks. We're watching Nada play, which is, I guess, a Korean style to get those siege tanks. The little one able to save these Hellions. He is roasting away 1 Marine there. I mean, look how much the Hellion damage the Hellions do. They actually do quite a bit to those Marines. Now, here comes the push from Nada. This is something that the little one has got to be prepared for, and he does have a Thor on the way, so he needs to delay this push as long as possible. If he can get a Thor on the high ground, he should be okay. The range of that Thor will kill any Marine Marines that try and bust up that ramp. However, Nada is quickly moving out across the map, and he is going to be here any second. I don't know if this Thor is actually going to finish, so it's going to come down to the micro of the little one again, which is why he's repairing those Hellions. And Nada actually going to stop here, take a little breather, stop at the pit stop, and get ready to attack. So the little one is going to fly out here to see exactly what's going on. This is going to give the little one time to get out his Thor. Now, the siege tanks, though, of course, outrange the Thor a great deal. So can the little one actually utilize these units effectively against his army? He's got to run here and get splash damage. One shot on those Hellions, need to back up, and a second shot. Did not take out a Hellion, 9 HP there remaining, and so that is why he's flying his barracks over here to see exactly what's going on. So Thor is here, so can he make this work with this one Thor? He's got to try to run these Hellions, probably right on top of the tanks, roasts away the Marines in almost one shot. Now this Thor is free to go unchecked and to kill these siege tanks. Boom, able to kill 2 of the siege tanks. 2 Vikings have arrived, but they were able to kill that Thor, but both Vikings went down at the exact same time there. The little one's playstyle in TvT is so amazing to watch. He was able to break that contain with a single Thor, and yeah, he did lose the Thor, but look at who is the biggest loser, 1,450 minerals there. And in this game, you do not want to be the biggest loser. In that reality TV show, maybe so. However, he does have enough once again to shoot these Marines. His Hellions did get stuck there just a little bit, and even able to kill another SCB and a Marine, and going to be able to start harassing that siege tank, but then he overextended and got blasted away. But he was able to just utilize those units as effectively as possible. However, Hellions versus siege tanks, yeah, the siege tank's usually going to win that. So I'm not sure why he ran in there with that. It did allow these resources to get caught up just a little bit, but 500 resources at 9 minutes into a StarCraft 2 game, that is very, very crucial here. And the little one going to be continuing to be aggressive here because he doesn't want Nada to get so many tanks that there's nothing he can do about it, because the siege tanks, if they slowly start leapfrogging out, then the Thors have a much more difficult time in dealing with them. So here comes the attack right now from Nada. He is going to back out there. The little one could have actually engaged that to get 1 or 2 shots off before those siege tanks would have stopped to siege up there. But for now, Nada continuing to produce tanks. He does now have 3, really sticking with a Brood War style of play. And I love how the little one is flying his units over here. Although the siege tank's preemptively sieging there, I would say, although it may be enough to kill this Thor. Kind of hard to tell at this moment in the game. And no, they were very premature there. Look at how effective those Hellions are against those Marines. Such an awesome playstyle from the little one, because he's going a build that if you were just to run your units into your opponent, you would lose very quickly. But he's doing a very, very micro-intensive build with these Thors, with the Hellions, able to soften up these Marines so quickly. And I'm not sure where this tank is going, but he is asking to die there. And he should be able to kill these Hellions unless they start running away. And look at that, even blocks off the siege tank and tries to block him again. I feel like we're watching some Warcraft 3, as blocking units like that is very, very common in Warcraft 3. So now Nada's in a really uncomfortable position. Banshee, what are you doing, Banshee? Oh, brother. That Banshee actually could have done, nope, no damage, because there's missile turrets built location. So he did try and get out of Banshee to do some harassment, but that did not quite work out. And so this is looking pretty good for the little one. Nada's gonna have to come up with something quick, and all he's got is 2 siege tanks and a couple of Marauders. He knows he cannot let himself be contained, so he's gonna try and move out to make something happen. These units should be working on the rocks, which is exactly what's happening. Nada going to be securing his expansion, it looks like, or trying to set up for that. Really unfortunate for Nada, though, that he lost that Banshee. Would have been interesting if he could have used that in a more defensive way. So these rocks are quickly going down. Nada's hourglass is ticking away. Not that hourglasses tick, but you know what I mean. The hourglass is running out, and he's going to have to back up here now and play in a defensive spot, as the Hellions are going to be running in here to try and make something happen. And nope, they're going to back out. They're very low HP on some of those Hellions, but the Hellions at this point are not the most crucial thing. It's the fact that he does have 3 Thors now at 82 supply to Nada's 57. So this is looking really, really good for Nada, which is, or not for Nada, but for the little one, which is why Nada is getting a bunch of Marauders, because again, that is always a desperation move that the Terran can use. I don't know if it's a desperation move, but it is the most cost-effective way to essentially, you know, keep yourself in a game. So you get this strong ground army really fast, but then you don't have the siege tank support, you don't have teching units, and all that stuff. So you got to be really, really careful with this. So Nada's realizing, man, I'm getting contained. My back door is open, so I need to get out my units as quickly as possible. Now, Stem is completed, as well as Concussive Shell is just finishing right now. So it's going to actually be up to the little one. He has 4 Thors just chilling out over here. So is this enough from Nada to make this happen? He's got to try and run in here. Stem has been used. The little one could wisely back out here. to make that null and void, although there are so many Thors here. They're doing a massive amount of damage to his army. This just shows you the power of the Thor. It does look like he's going to be able to kill these siege tanks no problem, and that is really bad news for Nada. And so there he goes. He is going to GG out of here. So does the little one, and a lot of people may be saying, well, why did he GG? The fact of the matter is that he did not have an expansion. The little one fully saturated at his natural. He had 3 factories going to be producing full-time, and the army discrepancy 77 to 32 there. So really, the little one just had to push out to seal the deal. Again, great play from the little one. It's awesome to see these 2 amazing players go at it. I really hope to see a lot more from Nada and Boxer in the future. This replay is fairly new. You guys notice, I'm sure, the production tab has a little timer, and there's a timer down here as well. So these replays are really, really new, which tells me that at least Nada has been practicing quite a bit. So look forward to seeing him in the future if he decides to stick with StarCraft 2, which I think he would be a fool not to, because StarCraft 2 is amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and cast the next game, and again, there will be a link down to where you can get these replays in the description. So that is that, and I will see you guys next time.